anywhere. And then you want to pick off like as much as you can. Get the big chunks off of there, and you just put them right back in the tub. It's good to go again. And so then what we're going to do is we're going to trim the putty off with a stick. So we're just going to run it right along like this, and you can literally go as fast as you want to, and it should trim off nice and clean if you've done a good job puttying. Now there's also just this little bit of a ridge on the edge that holds a little bit of putty. If you really want to clean it up, well, you scrape the stuff out of there too. But if you haven't worked the putty into the window really well, when you're scraping it, all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, all the putty is pulling back out of the channel. So that's why we work it in there, so that it's really, really stuck in there, and we can trim it off. So, because you should be able to do this, just literally like slam the stick around it really fast. Now, here's a little spot you need to pay attention to. I told you last week that if you have some holes in your window, the putty's going to fill them up. But if you got some kind of good sized holes, and all of a sudden it's like, uh-oh, my stick has fallen in a hole, and I just dug all the putty back out of that hole. I forgot that was there. So you have to back up. You back up, you fill that thing back up with putty, and then instead of holding your stick straight up and down, you have to use a little English on it. You got to lay it over a little bit and trim it to make sure that hole stays full of putty. So that's the trick with the holes and the gaps, right? You got to angle the stick a little bit. Now there's a little bit of a cleaner way to do this as well. Where did I leave my plating knife? I'll grab that. You can use a stick, and thank you. And like I said, the putty will pull back out of the channel if you didn't do a good job. If you use a putty knife, it helps to keep the stuff pushed in there. So what I do is you push it against it, and then I'm going to head this way. So I'm going to lift this leading edge away a little bit and go like that. And then cut it, and then lift the leading edge and go backwards, back and forth. So that ensures that the putty doesn't come out, and in fact it helps push it back in even farther. So either one of it. This is a little bit slower, but it guarantees that the putty stays inside the channel. Okay? So you can do either way. You can use a putty knife or a stick. Stick's kind of fast.